Hello students, welcome back. Here's a short optional video attached to section 1. We went through example 1.2, which simulates 20 rolls of a fair die repeated 100 times, and the sample statistics, or the distribution of sample statistics, and in that case sample statistics was the mean. So we are looking at the sampling distribution of sample means. So mean of those sample means and the standard deviation of those sample means were discussed here. And then the very same thing with a little bit different system. Sampling distribution of sample means is visualized here. Sampling distribution of sample means is visualized here in the right hand side. The left hand side was sampling distribution of sample sums. They're all important and they're all pointing toward normal, especially the visualization, clearly normal. But there are some other issues there. Not as important, so I'm not going to emphasize these, but here's an interesting example. Roll a pair of dice 100 times and record a range. So instead of sampling distribution of sample means, let's consider sampling distribution of sample ranges. That is the highest number minus lowest number, and here's a histogram. So rolling a die 100 times, and then you see highest number minus lowest number, rolling a pair of dice 100 times. So highest minus lowest can be minimum 0 when they have same numbers, and the maximum is 6 minus 1. That's maximum is going to be 5. Do you see any pattern? I don't know. Let's increase the repetition so that the probability distribution is more visible, and this is what we get. Nice asymmetric pattern. Nothing close to normal, and that's because we are looking at range, not the sample means. Now, instead of pair of dice, this time choose a pair of integers between 0 to 20. Previously 1 to 6, but this time from 0 to 20, and then record the range. Largest minus smallest, highest or lowest rather. And then the highest will be 20 minus 0, and lowest will be the difference 0. And then what do you see? I don't see anything. But if I increase the repetition, we have a nice linear pattern like that. Asymmetric. Now, how about rolling 4 dice 100 times and record the range? The highest number minus lowest number. So the highest minus lowest is 0, means actually 4 rolls should be all identical, so that difference is 0. So that's highly unlikely, so you don't see anything in this particular case. It's not impossible, so we have a little bit. But still, as far as a pattern, I'm not so sure. If I increase the repetition, we're going to be able to see something. You see, we have an asymmetric pattern like this. Run it again, it won't change very much. This time, choose 5 integers between 0 and 20, and then record the range. Highest minus lowest. And then range is 0 means or 5 times, I have to have the same number. So that's relatively low. So I don't see anything there. And as for the others, I don't know. Do you see any pattern? Well, let me increase the repetition. What do you see? We get a nice asymmetric pattern skewed to the left. And again, 0 is very unlikely because you see all 5 selection must be the same integer. It's not impossible, but it's low probability. So toward here, pretty low. And then we have this asymmetric pattern. Interesting picture, and also I wanted to show you how those asymmetric patterns with skew to the left or right forming in terms of probability distribution. Another one, okay, this one is really trivial. Roll a die many times and then get the frequency. What do you think? Do you see any pattern? Now, what pattern do we expect? Of course, pretty much uniform. I mean, we are talking about a fair die, so each number is equally as likely in terms of theoretical probability distribution. And if you roll it many times, sufficiently many times, then it won't change a lot from uniform distribution. Okay, all right, we went through many different examples, but all the examples that are really, really important were discussed in the previous video when we discussed the sampling distribution of sample means. And that's why I'm keeping this one as optional video.